Yeah, I know. I've been gone for a little minute. But I have a reason though, okay? I was just not gone. I was just inconsistent this time. But now it's 2024, and my ass gonna be very consistent. Okay, let's go. And now let's go back to the story. And I know all y'all niggas have seen the little story about the girl named Gypsy Rose Blanchard, right? And you've seen it. You were like, you're asking. I know you're asking, like, why does it have so many likes? Why is it? What's wrong with this girl? What happened? And I actually saw a video that I didn't actually watch, and it's like an 8-minute video about the whole story. And yeah, let's watch this shit together because I'm actually pretty curious too. What was this gonna be all about? So boom, this video. So let's watch this shit.
Thing that I'm about ready to tell you, then you need to tell me. Okay. Your mom's dead. Okay. Now, what I want to ask you is, your mom's passed away. Okay, and she's deceased. All right. Now, what I want to ask you, did you have involvement in this?
Damn.
Hang on, listen to me for just a second, okay?
This is the
That's how you know she was thinking about it. Like, she didn't do it on purpose. She's sad for it because that's the only thing she had to do. If you really think about it, so that's
case of
crazy.
Gypsy Rose Blanchard.
God damn.
Gypsy Rose Blanchard was born July 27, 1991 in Golden Meadow, Louisiana, to Rod and Claudine Dee Dee Blanchard. We'll just call her Dee Dee. Rod and 23-year-old Dee Dee would separate during the pregnancy. He was just 17, in over his head, and felt he was married for the wrong reasons. When Gypsy was just 1 year old, her mother would claim that she suffered from sleep apnea, a condition in which breathing stops or slows for short periods of time while sleeping. By the time she was 8 years old, Dee Dee had somehow convinced doctors that Gypsy had leukemia, muscular dystrophy, and many other conditions. These conditions would leave Gypsy bound to a wheelchair. Dee Dee was even able to talk doctors into surgically inserting a feeding tube into Gypsy's stomach.
What the fuck is that? Yo! And why did she do this shit for? What the fuck?
This is the first memory of surgery Gypsy would recall. She eventually went through multiple surgeries. On her eyes, removal of salivary glands, and likely a combination of the effects of these procedures and medication. Gypsy's teeth would rot and require to be extracted. She really was molded into...
That goes to show how what people do for money, bro. Because her mama literally did all that shit just for money. Just for money. That shit disgusts me,
It turns out that the litany of medications that she was giving the young girl were actually producing the symptoms that the doctors were trying to treat. They would go from local doctor to local doctor, and Dee Dee would manipulate each one of them into treating different ailments.
So where are you going today?
I'm going to Children's Mercy Hospital to see my dentist for my teeth.
And we'll be back.
And we'll be back soon.
That's messed up.
Many times, doctors' reports would contradict what Dee Dee was trying to push. They would just go to a new doctor. And in the end, nothing would come of it. Things would continue.
Of course that's gonna happen. Of course that's gonna happen. Literally, they could like search it up more. So they were like, get her and all that shit. But they didn't care at all. She said, nah, I'm just gonna switch doctors. And they didn't write that in the fucking register like about her little thingy and all that shit. But they just left it, going on.
She would shave Gypsy's head to keep up the facade of cancer and other illnesses, and would be by her side almost every moment of the young girl's life. She was forced to be homeschooled by the 2nd grade at the latest. She was under her mother's sole control. Some say this is a classic case of Munchausen by proxy syndrome, and some would say that Dee Dee was simply a con artist and a master manipulator. The truth likely lies somewhere in between, but the fact is this: nothing was wrong with Gypsy Rose Blanchard. Well, nothing that wasn't created by her mother. She made sure that Gypsy relied on her and needed her. Like many families, in August of 1995, Hurricane Katrina displaced the Blanchards. They would relocate to Springfield, Missouri, and due to the family's quasi-celebrity, would have a home built for them by the Habitat for Humanity. That wouldn't be all. Over the years...
So that's why she did all that shit. She did that shit just to like receive money and fucking meet the celebrities and all that shit. So her mama used that as the excuse to not work. So she made her look like she had a disability so she could get money from the state and all that shit. Damn, go get a job.
Celebrity donations. Gypsy would meet her favorite actors and even take all expense paid trips to places like Disney World.
You see?
Right now, I'm in Cinderella's castle eating some royal mashed potatoes.
That's fucked up.
In addition, Dee Dee claimed that all of Gypsy's medical records were destroyed in the storm. which allowed her to essentially create whatever ailments she desired. Moving out of
course she
Louisiana
did.
would also remove Gypsy's father from the equation and really eliminate anyone that might ask any questions. Things would go on like this for years. As Gypsy got older, the world outside of the bubble with her mother would start to beckon her. She would create secret social media profiles and start to communicate with
Understandable.
other people. One of those people
I
was
would do the same thing.
23-year-old Nicholas Godejohn of Big Bend, Wisconsin. They started talking sometime in 2012. This would make Gypsy 20 or 21. I believe she thought she was 14 or 15.
What?
At least that's what her mother told her. She didn't even know her own age. In fact, when her father Rod attempted to call her for her 18th birthday, Dee Dee turned him away and told him that it was best if she didn't know she was 18, and that the doctors all agreed.
I ain't gonna lie, Mama knew exactly what she was doing. She knew exactly what she was doing. She was calculating everything. I ain't gonna lie, I gotta respect it, but that's still so fucked up. That's fucked up.
What? Anyways, back to Nicholas. Well, he had his own issues, except his were not created by his parents. He was autistic, he had Asperger's, and was self-diagnosed with multiple personality disorder. The two would talk in secret on a nightly basis. They would even role play. Nicholas would show a darker side when it came to his kinks. And by the fall of 2014, Gypsy would tell her friend about Godejohn, and that she planned to run away and start a family with him. And by March of 2015, she and Godejohn finally met in person. During a local screening of Cinderella, Nicholas would be in the theater and act as if they were meeting for the first time. If their plan was for him to charm Dee Dee, and then she would allow them to be together, it didn't work. Dee Dee wanted nothing to do with Godejohn. The two were, however, somehow able to sneak away into the bathroom at the movie theater and have sex for the first time. Nicholas would return home to Wisconsin and things would go back to normal.
8 hours? That nigga drove 8 hours? For some ass? Man, you gotta respect it, bro. I gotta
respect it. For the next
respect
2
it.
months, a plan would hatch
grind is
between
crazy.
Gypsy and Nicholas. A plan that would free her from her chains and allow the two to run away together. That plan was to kill Dee Dee Blanchard.
Yo,
In the late hours of June 9th, 2015, Nicholas would arrive at the Blanchard house to a waiting Gypsy. She would hand him gloves and a knife, and at the orders of Nicholas, lock herself in the bathroom. Nicholas would then enter Dee Dee's bedroom and proceed to savagely stab and slash her. Dee Dee would not survive the attack. The two would then flee the scene, take a taxi to a motel, and presumably start their lives together.
that's why she got 10 years and he got fucking lifetime, because she planned the murder and he proceeded to like kill the mama. So that's why. Okay, now then it's understandable. So that guy was pretty crazy, actually. That was crazy.
Hi, honey.
And they laughing. Yeah, that nigga was crazy. Butt naked?
He's eating a brownie.
That's crazy, bro.
They would end up back in Godejohn's Wisconsin home, and some pretty serious stuff would be posted on Gypsy and Dee Dee's shared Facebook page.
That bitch is
It wasn't
dead.
long before police were able to trace the IP address back to Nicholas Godejohn's Big Bend address. Police would arrive, and after a short standoff, Gypsy would walk out first. Keep in mind, nobody knows that she can walk at this point, and Nicholas would be taken into custody. The police were unsure of Gypsy's involvement in the crime, as to whether she was a victim or a culprit. That would be put to rest pretty
She was a
quickly.
victim, though.
Okay, good morning. I want to specify at the beginning of this press conference that this is an ongoing investigation. And I want to start off with saying things are not always as they appear. Both Facebook postings were authored by Gypsy.
That's fucked up.
The prosecutor has filed charges this morning for first-degree murder. This is a tragic event surrounded by mystery and public deception.
Now, while Gypsy tried to deny any involvement or even knowledge of what happened to her mother,
Did you kill your mom?
No, sir.
Did you
I mean,
help
she didn't kill her.
Nicholas kill your mom?
No, sir.
Did you have knowledge that Nicholas was going to kill your mom before he did it?
Yes, sir.
That's crazy.
Sit tight for me, okay?
well, her counterpart Nicholas went a completely different route.
Did Gypsy know that you were going to kill her mother?
Honestly, she asked me to.
Okay.
Investigators had presented her with plenty
That
of
nigga
evidence
pleaded.
that completely
That nigga
discredited any
pleaded.
of her claims, and ultimately Gypsy would come clean as to her involvement in her mother's murder. In July of 2015, Gypsy accepted a plea deal for second-degree murder and would be sentenced to 10 years in prison.
She's to be sentenced to 10 years in the Missouri Department
Damn,
of
10
Corrections.
years.
She'll have to do 85% of her sentence before she's eligible for parole.
While in prison, she actually got engaged with a pen pal that started writing her after seeing a documentary about her case. It appears that Gypsy will have a chance to live out the rest of her life in some sort of normalcy after she's released. And after a few delays for mental health evaluations, in February of 2019,
Damn.
Nicholas Godejohn would be found guilty of first-degree murder.
Well, anyhow, now she can live happy ever after. She's married. She have a guy she's talking to. Her mom is 7 feet underground in fucking hell because what she did was ridiculous. And yeah, and the boyfriend though, I ain't gonna lie, I feel a little bit bad for that nigga, but because he actually did that shit just to stay with her. Now he's almost close to getting death penalty and staying his whole life in jail while she's happy outside with the new husband, popularity and all that shit. And this goes to show that this stuff actually happens nowadays. It can happen to one kid right now in, I don't know, Malaysia or somewhere. And we should like be aware and be good with each other. Alright? That's all I gotta say.
Let's go. If you could gaze into